Hey lads, welcome to another healing guide on some of the harder bosses in the Dragonflight Season 1 dungeon pool. This time we are in Halls of Valor and we'll be healing the third boss, Fenryr. You can see the talents that I'm going to be using. I'm not using Cloudburst on this fight, but it is actually particularly good, so you might as well switch to a little bit different talent build. I did opt to heal without it, and I did succeed at the end. So, as usual, make sure to mana up, because it could be quite intensive of a fight, and the boss, of course, starts at 60%. What you want to do in the beginning, and basically for almost all of the fight, is stack on top of the boss. Stay on top of the boss, which is actually good for a shaman, because you'll be able to hit everybody with your heals. So, the first thing that I'm going to do is cast my Healing Rain. As you can see, this is actually going to damage the boss, and it's going to hit everybody in my party. You will also be benefiting from the Deluge talent, which makes your chain heal and healing surges hit for 20% more in people standing in your healing rain. So the first mechanic to watch for is the Claw Frenzy. They don't always come in this particular order, but the Claw Frenzy is probably the one that he's going to cast most oftenly, and this is this big red circle that you have to stay in and soak, because that splits the damage between all of the party members. This is the thing that you should be most aware of, and after it hits, it's going to damage everybody, and you have to top everybody up before the next mechanic, whatever that is, so that they don't get killed by it. So as you can see, I am chain healing everyone, and then the downpour is also very amazing on this fight, because everybody's stacked, so you're going to hit all 5 members in your group with it. Over here, he's already casting the next mechanic, which is Ravenous Leap. This is where you want to spread out. This is very, very important. He is going to leap to the people with the red arrows on top of their heads and hit them and put a debuff ticking dot on them. So he's going to be jumping in a particular order, and if he passes through you, even if you don't have the red mark on you, he's going to apply the debuff on you. So what you want to do is you want to spread so that everybody with the red mark gets hit, but nobody else gets hit, because the debuff and the dot are actually stacking, so you can get more than one applications on you at a time. Now, we did a terrible job over here, because both me and the Warlock got 2 stacks, so I opted to Spirit Link here to reduce the damage taken and keep us alive. The dot is actually quite long, it's about 30 seconds long, so you have to be prepared to heal the people with the debuff, and also, if they have more than one debuff, you have to be prepared to heal them for even more. That leads us to the next mechanic, which is Scent of Blood. He's going to target a person in your group, and he's going to start chasing them. There's a short cast before he starts chasing the person, so you should pay attention to who he's going to target, because that person is going to run away from you, and especially if they have the dot on them, you need to be prepared to have some heals going on so that they don't die while running away from the boss. I would even suggest popping your Spirit Walker's Grace and then chasing them so you can actually spam some heals and they don't die, especially in this case if they have 2 debuffs from the dot. Now what follows here is another bad play on our end. So first, if the Paladin bobs the person who is being chased, they will not get any damage and you can just stay and hit the boss. However, the Warlock somehow misclicked and took the portal back, so the boss just one-shot and kills him. So a bit of a miscommunication on our end, and of course nothing that you can do on your end to heal through that. Make sure you're of course clear Thundering, and then prepare for the next mechanic. In this case, it's another Claw Frenzy. The Warlock drops really low because he just got rest, and I also drop low because I have 2 dots sticking on top of me. Those are the kind of situations that you want to save your cooldowns for. Unfortunately, I didn't have anything available. No Ancestral Guidance, no Spirit Link, no Ascendance. Luckily, I was pre-casting a Surge on the Warlock, and then I would just Heal Pot and Headstone to top myself up, but surviving the frenzies is what you are responsible for, so you should be managing your cooldowns a little bit better than I had here. If you have Ascendance or Spirit Link, you should be totally fine. So we survived that, but the next mechanic is already up, Ravenous Leap, so make sure to spread out so you don't get 2 debuffs as we did last time. Luckily, this time the mage casts its invisibility, so the leaps just go away, and we are totally fine. Another Claw Frenzy, so pre-cast chain heal, make sure that you have Healing Rain rolling so you get 20% more healing out of that, and of course Downpour is actually very good, since everybody is stuck. That leaves the last mechanic, which is the Unnerving Howl, which is basically just an AoE interrupt which will also bring a few little ads that you can just cleave down, but make sure you're not casting. You can be just spreading your riptides when this happens, because if you get silenced, you're wasting precious time that you can use to heal the Ravenous Frenzy and the leaps. Now, depending on your route, you might not have Lust. It just came up for us, so I'm going to use it. Another Scent of Blood goes on. We are still not getting the buff from the Paladin. Luckily, the Mage has another invisibility available, so we can just go and spank the boss. Healing Rain again, make sure to keep that up, so when the next mechanic comes up, you can do extra healing. And in this case, it's the Ravenous Sleep, so the Healing Rain is not going to help you here, but spread out so you don't get extra dots on the people that are getting hit. And then the mechanics keep repeating. The How is here, so don't cast. And as you can see, it's a lot of constant damage that goes on to people. So basically, you want to save your cooldowns to catch up if you fall behind. Unfortunately, I wasted almost everything in the beginning, where multiple people got hit by the leaps. But as you can see, I still managed to keep everybody up by just utilizing my Downpour, Healing Rain, Chain Heals, etc. As long as people do the rest of the mechanics correctly. So, in a summary, be prepared to constantly heal and use your spells. There's no particular moment in the fight where you can say, oh, I need to use this cooldown. Just save the cooldowns if possible for critical situations where something goes wrong or you're just falling a little bit behind on the healing. You can see my talents again, and another note to make, Cloudburst is actually going to be very, very good on this fight. Because of the constant healing, you're actually going to get those huge Cloudbursts, and they're going to help you top people up and catch up in the cases where you need a little bit more healing and you're falling behind. Other than that, spread your Riptides, chain heal, and you should be totally fine. Alright, thanks for watching. Let me know if you want to see similar guides for some of the other bosses that are in the pool right now. Happy healing, and see you in the next video.